Hey y'all, it's Callie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a really exciting video. I'm going to try a monthly TBR for March. I've never, other than a week-long readathon, I've never made a TBR and stuck to it. I've always done TBR jars and just kind of picked what I wanted. But I'm going to do this just to see how it goes, see how I like it, all that kind of stuff. So I decided to go with 4 fantasy books. I don't think they're all considered fantasy, but more of that fantasy, dystopia, not real life, and then 4 contemporaries, romances, things along that line. And these are just physical books. With audiobooks and ebooks, I never really know because it depends on holds from my library and just what's available. So I just those are kind of spur of the moment choices. But I've got 4 fantasy and 4 contemporaries for you guys today. So for the fantasies, I'm trying to finish series that I have or that I've started because there's a lot of them. There were enough for 4. So the first one I'm hoping to get to, I just keep thinking about it and I really want to read it, and it's Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. This is after The Mortal Instruments but before The Dark Artifices, and it follows one of the characters, Simon. And I have just been thinking about this book for some reason, and I just really want to read it. And I kind of miss the Shadowhunter world, and this is the next book to pick up in that series, I guess. It's a whole collection of books. And so I'm hoping I'll probably pick this one up first. It's still February 22nd, so there's a possibility I could get to this, start this before the end of the month, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it. And now that I'm doing this TBR, I might hold out on it a little bit and maybe read a quick contemporary instead. So we'll see. Then the next similar idea book that I am planning on reading is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is another collection of short stories, but this is the next in the Throne of Glass. I recently finished Heir of Fire, and I'm hoping to read Queen of Shadows, but I heard to read this either before or after Heir of Fire. I already read Heir of Fire, so I'm gonna pick this one up so I can continue on with the series. Kind of in the same vein, I have the companion novel to the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, and this is Night of Cake and Puppets. I am pretty close. I'm 70% through the last book, Dreams of Gods and Monsters, so I'm hoping to finish that up in the next few days and get to this one pretty quickly. I'm really excited. I really love the characters that this is based around. This one is based around Mick and Susanna, who are some of the more side characters, but they become more main characters as the book series goes on. And this is just a beautiful book, and it will complete me reading the series, so then I can just sit there and look pretty until I feel the need to reread it. And the last, I think this is technically considered sci-fi, and that would be Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I read Cinder last week and I absolutely loved it. It was a bit predictable, but I really enjoyed myself, so I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen in this one. I'm pretty sure I've heard a lot about Wolf, which is a character we meet in this story, so I'm super excited about that. This is a sci-fi retelling series. The whole series is different sci-fi retellings of fairy tales. So this one, I believe, is about Little Red Riding Hood. Super excited about that. It's gonna be some good stuff. And oh, this cover's really pretty. It's got some detailing over here that you'd have to notice. We're excited to get into this one as well. Then for my contemporaries, the first one I want to get to is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This one is going to be turned into a movie this year, so I figured I would kind of get it out of the way, and the cover seems really pretty, and I don't know what it's about, but I'm just super excited to get to this one. I've heard great things and I can't wait. This next book, I'm gonna be real, I really just chose a random contemporary off of my shelf, and that is Shrimp by Rachel Cohn. I think I got this for like 89 cents on Book Outlet. I really just like got it for the sake of getting it because it was like my first Book Outlet purchase. I have no idea what this is about, but I really enjoy Rachel Cohn's books with David Levithan, so I'm interested to see how I like her writing style when it's just her. The next book is The A-List by Zoe Dean. I recently read Girls on Film, which is actually book 2 in the series, and I received book 1 fairly recently, and I'm just gonna try to make my way through the series a little bit, kind of get it off. They're really quick, easy reads. It took me like 2 or 3 days to read Girls on Film, and that was when I wasn't really focusing on reading. So this will just be something quick and easy and just a little something extra to break up a bunch of fantasy reads. The last book on my official TBR, I usually read more than 8 books, but I just kind of set a parameter for like the first 8 or like 8 that I want to read during the month. Not really sure, like I didn't want to make it too much or too little, or way too small, so I figured 8 would be a good kind of starting place. And the last book I'm planning on reading is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This is supposed to be amazing. It's about a girl who makes webcomics, and she's really shy in school until she meets this boy who happens to write fan fiction for her webcomics, and she knows that like their connection, but he doesn't, and it's like all about them. Everybody absolutely loves this. I believe there's some sort of mental health representation in this, and I am just super excited to get to it. It's got a bunch of artwork in it and like different forms. It's not just like all traditional, like just a word straight throughout. Super excited to get to this. I'm predicting it'll be 5 out of 5. Fingers crossed. This will definitely be one I'll be picking up earlier in the month. Like I said, those are just like the first reads I want to get to. I'm not gonna necessarily stick to just that. If I finish those, I'll read more, and like I said, audiobooks and ebooks are just gonna kind of happen how they will. It'll just depend on what's available and what interests me. Yeah, I'm really excited to do like my first TBR. I've never really done anything like this, and I'm interested to see how I feel about it. Hey y'all, it is a few days later, and I just wanted to add a quick little update in here. I have decided to also start reading 1 or 2, depending on how I'm feeling, classics or like middle grade books that are on my shelf a month. And for March, I would really like to finish Little Women. I am like 70 pages through, so I've still got like 500 pages left, but I think it's like definitely a goal I can achieve next month. I was going to try to finish it this month, but I realistically just didn't have time, and right after reading Anne of Green Gables, it was just a lot of classics in 4 days, and I didn't want to pressure myself like that, and I felt like I just really wouldn't be able to actually finish it, so I decided to just add it to my March TBR since I will have plenty of time. My plan right now is to read the 8 books I previously mentioned, read this one, and then move on to any other books I have on my shelves that I happen to want to read. I also rearranged my bookshelves last night, so this bottom shelf that you can't really see but you kind of can is now like a TBR shelf, so like it's got my TBR for the next month, so I can just kind of see where I'm at. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!